Previously on Mighty Car Mods.
Just drive it.
Yeah.
As it is. Don't do anything. And then when you get to a point that you feel like it's not fulfilling what's required to be fulfilled, then you can do something else
What
to
are
it.
we doing tomorrow morning?
In this episode of Mighty Car Mods, we are working on the almighty Focus RS, if I don't get run over. Hello, mate.
G'day, mate.
Let's insert the graphics and then tell everyone what we're doing.
Welcome to an extra special episode of Mighty Car Mods, where we're going to start doing some mad mods to this Focus.
Now, as you guys have probably seen, we went to Germany and got to work on this car ourselves, and to make sure we didn't get a bait and switch, we actually stuck a chop sticker inside the bumper bar when we were in the factory in Germany, and when it came back we had a look and guess what? It was there.
Yep, used the boroscope camera, which can be used for all sorts of things.
That's right, even internally on a friend of yours.
In the car.
What?
Internally in the car, what you meant.
Oh yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Yep.
Anyway, Martin, so here's the thing. These cars have got a massive aftermarket scene in terms of mods. There is so much stuff available from so many different places. And some people are kind of doing them like JDM style.
Yep.
Some people are doing them a bit Euro. This car is unique in that it has a Ford badge on it, but at the same time it's made in Germany and it's a European car.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of, I think that has helped inform people's decisions on how they modify them. I guess what I'm saying is they don't often end up looking like a ratty 180 and stinking of bong smoke. People are normally going down like a more Audi kind of route.
There's a whole lot of people driving around cars of this era.
Yeah.
Like usually drive older cars because you can chop them up and stuff. But there's people that drive these and modify them all the time, and I want to join that club.
Exactly. So what we did is we kind of drove it around for a little while, got used to it, did a little bit of the old drift mode on the track, of course, the launch control. Because I reckon when you get a car, you just kind of want to get your head around it first and see what needs to be done.
Thrash it is what he actually means.
Yes, no doubt you've seen those videos.
Oh, that hooks up great! I'm redlining every gear. That's 180 kilometers an hour.
Anyway, and then ordered some mods. So I want to tell you what happened because there is a little bit of a story. What I wanted to do was, is I just wanted to make it a little bit lower. Like not much, not like crazy, but just a little bit lower because I think that would actually look good. Now I went on to the Interballs and I bought these springs. So this is from a company called Mountune. I went to their website and I clicked buy and I bought them. Now in here, you will see
Yes.
that
black, same as the car.
there is springs, which is awesome. But here's the thing. When this arrived, I was expecting just this. I also bought an intake.
Yeah.
But when this arrived for us to install, actually other boxes arrived as well. And so I did what any rational, normal person would do.
I thought you would.
What would you do?
I thought you bought it all.
No.
I was like, why are these boxes?
I bought this. I'm like, full retail, man. Buy that, buy an intake. But there's more boxes than springs in an intake. So what would a reasonable person do if you bought stuff off the internet and more stuff arrived?
You'd put it on your car and never tell anyone.
Yeah, except we make a YouTube show, so
we
that can
have
never
to.
happen.
Well,
so anyway, so I sent them a message and I'm like, all this other stuff arrived. And they're like, you can keep it. I don't even know what's in there. I gotta be completely honest. I do not know what's in these boxes. So there's a big one here that's just too big to even like show you what it is. And then there's this. Like, what's in here? What's in here, Martin?
A whole lot of bubble wrap people were just like,
We don't know what's in there. So the point is we're just going to start modifying this car.
Yeah, mad. It needs to be done.
Yeah,
It
we're
needs
going
to
to
be
do it.
modified. Mad based.
But Martin, I'm going to say something controversial.
Oh, what?
Very controversial.
Don't do it, man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, do it. No,
Okay.
don't do it. I don't know. I just want to pop more bubble wrap.
Okay.
Do you want to pop a bit?
No, because that's a rude word, man.
What is?
You know what that means. There's kids out there. Hey, man, I'm going to suggest we do something crazy after 10 years. We've done it before.
Modify the car.
Yes, that.
Yep.
But this is the only bit that's going to suck. So what I'm suggesting we do, I know we're going to get some heat, is I suggest we borrow someone's hoist
Yeah, no,
to do this bit.
I'm in agreement.
And then we can do that and do as much as we can
Done
here.
enough of these on my back, on the floor, on concrete, that, yeah.
We've done it 100 times.
Yeah.
So let's treat ourselves.
Hoist, oh my God.
go and find a hoist somewhere. So let's do it. We will reveal the mods as we go. Of course we will. What a stupid thing to say. So let's go do this. Let's modify the RS. Let's go, man. Put these. This is the first thing. Put these in the boot. Put these over here. Martin, and then we're going to go. Martin.
What? I
Put
was
your
busy with
put
my
the
bubble
springs
wrap.
in the back, man.
You only got 3 springs.
Sounds a bit weird. Put the other one in there.
Oh, sorry.
And where we're actually going is we're picking
How
up
many times did I pop the bubble wrap?
in total. First person to get the number right.
Gets a chopped sticker.
Sure.
Wait, one more.
Wait.
No, you can't. Oh, you can't do that.
Someone will slow it down.
Let's
anyway,
go.
Martin, I've got something else to tell you though.
What?
I'll tell you when we get there.
It's going to be good.
Actually, this is what the Focus exhaust sounds like.
It does actually. Pinging it off the limiter.
The car was warm, everybody. We were
One-
driving it already.
One more.
Don't get upset.
We're not actually going to a hoist, are we?
No, we're not, Martin.
What was the point of that?
All right, let's do this.
One day, there'll be a hoist. One day.
When you're modifying a car for the first time, it's a good idea to have some goals on where you want the project to end up. We're looking at keeping the car fairly stealthy, but we're going to be changing out a bunch of components and looking for a solid increase in performance. We actually have some credible experience creating fast and stealthy looking Fords, so this one should be a piece of cake. Our first step is to jack up the car and remove the wheels. We'll be replacing these with some aftermarket rims later in the video, but our first step is to get access to the suspension components.
Oh, where's the bonnet popper? Is it on, which side's it on?
Oh,
It's Euro car, so it's the other side,
Euro.
right? That's another weird Euro thing. Pop the bonnet from the passenger seat.
That seems a bit weird because you'd have to have like mates to pop it for you.
Torx bits.
T30 Torx bit, mate. We don't use them very often.
No, Euro, man. Euros love them.
Our first step is to remove this cowling so we can get access to the struts.
I know the guys in the factory in Germany ever watch these videos and they're like, no, 9, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
This car has electronically adjustable dampers with changes activated with selectable driving modes from inside the car, so there's a little bit more to it than the usual nuggets that we're working on. The process is similar, but we'll need some different tooling to get the job done, as the struts have cables running down through the centre.
I have never ever used my 15mm socket before. Though, if someone goes through every single video we've ever made, all like 500 of them, and finds a point where I've talked about using a 15mm socket, I'll give them a chopstick.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal, man.
15mm.
Getting on it.
Red, like you never see that on a Japanese car. I reckon if I just can stick a nut right through the top.
Well, see this one on the front side? If I stick it right up through the hole, can you nut on the top of it?
Yeah, I reckon I can probably get one.
Okay, go on the engine side. I can see the tip of it hanging through it.
Is that
Stick it in
inserted?
and now
Hang on.
push it harder because I can't feel it.
I'm just going to twist while I do it.
Is it in there?
Oh, I
can't feel it, man.
The tip of it's in, but it's not hasn't got the whole shaft
Screw
yet.
it the whole way in.
Yep, the shaft's going in now.
Okay.
Yep.
So you've nut on the top of that?
Yeah, the nut's on, man.
Awesome, cool.
So I think you're right
now,
to stomp on it now.
Let's attempt to.
just gonna have to-
That's undone, that's undone.
Nothing else holding it in.
No.
Man, you just got to like stomp on it as hard as you can. Stomp it, man.
Double stomp and yep, that's it.
She's out. Well done.
We're getting both sides out, and then we can put them on the bench and install our lowered springs.
There it is.
Mad.
Excellent.
Strut your stuff.
Now these cars are already pretty low, so low in fact, that from the factory they ship out with these spring blockers to keep the car high enough to transport. But our new springs will give us a moderate drop of around 15 millimeters. Next up, we're using some spring compressors to remove the old springs, and then we'll need a through ratchet to tighten and loosen off the strut tops.
When you do these on like a 180 or Subaru, they're usually like, there you go, usually blown out and torn and not connected anymore. Cool, let's spring off. See you, mate.
See you, buddy.
No more bubble wrap. Oh no, no more bubble wrap.
No more bubble wrap. Have people worked out how many times you popped the bubble yet, Martin?
I don't know. They might have to go back and see if they can work it out. You've got to put it, it's weird putting a wire through the top of a spring, hey?
It is.
It's pretty cool though.
There are some considerations when running lowered springs on original shocks. In our case, these springs are specifically engineered to fit the factory unit, and it's only a 15mm drop. Some internet engineers have suggested a general rule that up to an inch drop is okay with factory shocks, but a lot of Honda Civic owners have gone much further than that. So there are countless forum debates raging at any one time about spring rates, height drops, and factory versus aftermarket. So we'll leave it to the internet to decide what it thinks is best. With everything tightened up and then the power reconnected, we can move over to the other side and repeat the same process. It goes without saying, but if you're going to do this yourself, it is way easier when you've got a mate to help you out.
So the fronts are done. That took about 2 hours, and now we can do the rear. Now the rear should just be one bolt.
It looks simple.
Literally just one bolt out of the control arm. The spring should fall out. We put the other one in. We do it back up. At least that's the theory.
Yeah, dude.
There it is. And then move that out of the way. This guy here will just fall out. There it is.
Cool.
Look at that.
And that seat goes on top of the other one. Same way.
This one's gonna go that way and like that. In it goes, Martin.
It's amazing.
It's a little bit easier than the front.
It's heaps easier because it's not a McPherson strut where it's over the springs over the strut. Coilover shock. Does that have a particular way it needs to be, or is it just sitting there anyway? There it goes.
Again, this one's got a little access hole here.
To get the orientation right.
Yeah, when it's right.
It is literally one bolt to change the rears, and the hardest bit is getting everything lined up again so you can get that bolt back through. But unlike the front, which takes a couple of hours, you'll be able to do both the springs at the back in around 15 minutes.
Suspension is now in and easy because not rusted, not corroded, not jammed in there, not in there for 3 decades, not changed 6 times already incorrectly.
Now this car already has a very firm ride. It feels like it's been set up for the track. So somebody might be like going, you meant to do coilovers because that's what the internet said. It's actually, this is one of those cars where it's just not necessary unless you're like looking to set it up in a very, very specific way. So now we get to lower the car and see what it looks like. It is going to be a subtle difference with these springs. We're expecting around, a 10 to 15 millimeter drop. And speaking of subtle, Martin, I've got something else over here, mate. Take that one.
That's a factory 19-inch tyre and wheel.
Now, because we are modifying this car, we also have another wheel to go on there. But in Australia, here's the thing. In Australia, if you stick a sticker on the back of your car, you might get pulled over for something. Or maybe in New South Wales. Maybe we should clarify. I don't know. But Australia is very strict in the way that cars are modified or not. Now, I've got a Mini that makes VTEC noises, and Marty's got a wagon that makes Tribeca noises. And as such, with a car like this that's going to be dailied and driven around quite a lot, we do want it to go under the radar, full ninja style. So the goal for this was to try and find a wheel that was as similar as we could to this one, but not that one. And so we found this. So this here is an aftermarket wheel, made in Italy apparently.
Oh wow. Euro like the car.
Yeah, proper Euro.
That's because this has a funny stud pattern, isn't it? Like, wheels are not super common because the common size is 5x114.
These ones are wacky.
Yeah, they're like 5x108 or 112 or something that's just a little bit different.
A little bit different. So there's not as many choices out there. But this here is a wheel that, as you can see, is similar to this, a little bit less Spider-Man logo, but it's also way lighter. So these are a couple of kilos lighter than the factory wheels, which is pretty cool.
And new tyres.
And Bridgestone RE003s on there, which we run on all of our cars. And apparently these also have the ability to give you a little bit more space for like big brake kits and stuff like that.
Cool.
Which again is something that
this.
like I don't think you need it on this. And that is one of the tricks of this car, you know, like it's I guess it's one of the, I don't know if it's one of the negatives that you'd say, but it's already there. Like it's got a front mount, it's got big brakes, it's got Recaros, you know, like everything that you kind of want.
It's like they
is
made
there.
it for people that like that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to modify it, you got to really take it to the next level.
There's a lot of tyre under this car too. Like that's quite a wide tyre. It's a 19-inch wheel. Like there's not a lot of sidewall. Like it's pretty grippy for a car that size. But then again, it's kind of a heavy car, so you also do need, you know, a lot of tyre to hold all the corner speed and stuff like that.
Well, the good thing is now that we're going to have another set, because this car does like
drift
it
tyres.
smashes through, as you've probably seen, like when we were driving them in Germany. Oh, that's your mum again.
Not again.
Hello. Is it? Oh, hi Cheryl. I'll have to get back to that. Anyway, let's put this on the car and then we can drop it down and we can check the height.
Let's do it. Why is your butt jingling?
I don't know, mate. I think it's my chair actually. My chair is jingling.
They look good, man. They're very shiny. They're shinier than the factory ones too.
They are. The factory ones are matte. These ones are gloss.
I bet you it still sits up high anyway because it's
Such a subtle difference anyway. We're talking like 1.5 centimetres or something. I don't think we're really going to see it now, but
full driving. Yeah, we're definitely not seeing it now.
No, not yet.
You got to take it around the block.
After a quick drive, we bring the car back, and as you'll see, it's settled very nicely.
There it is. The wheels are on. We got new rubber, and then we've also got our new suspension. So we are ready for some European-style Dorifto mode.
That was quick and easy, and nothing fell out of it. Nothing was rusted. Nothing was broken. And I'll be interested to see what it's like to drive with those springs.
Well, apparently, according to the interballs, if you can believe the shaft of the interballs, these springs that are giving you like a 10 to 15 mil drop are transformative, Martin.
Oh, really?
I don't know quite what everybody's talking about, but we're about to find out.
It's a heavy car, so springs can make quite a big difference.
But in the meantime, mate, we have got a stack of boxes over there of different things to go through, and then there's that big thing over there.
Whoa, is that for this?
Yeah, that's for
massive.
this also.
I thought that was a fridge.
No.
That's as big as a fridge?
It is. That's actually, wait on, that's
bigger than you.
It's that much taller than me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's more boxes to open, Martin. I suggest we get into it and start sticking some more stuff on the car.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go this way.
Can we get something to eat first? I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm starvo. Do you want something?
Get me one of whatever it is, please.
Cool. Done. I'm getting you cookies.
All right, time to see what else we've got. This is a Mountune high flow intake. The cast aluminium duct replaces the factory plastic unit, and coupled with the performance air filter and aluminium lower intake duct, it provides increased airflow with a more adaptable design to get more power and makes it easier to install a larger turbocharger. And unlike a lot of the parts that we get, these ones are made in the USA. Installation is as easy as transferring some grommets from the factory part to the aftermarket part and then mounting it up with new silicone hose and plugging everything back together. Now that that's installed and looking awesome, let's talk air filters. Now we know from our own testing on the dyno that air filters don't always result in the power gains that some companies promise on their packaging. But in this case, while some performance benefit is welcome, the filter we're installing has an aesthetic quality in that it's got a dual inlet design that provides some much needed induction noise.
So the RS has an interesting air filter configuration. Now, when the bonnet's up like this and it's sitting in your local dealership, it kind of looks like it has this open air filter design, but it's kind of very cleverly not. You can probably see the indent here
on the top of the hood or the bonnet, depending on what country you're in, actually seals down over this rubber seal here. And also on the edge here, this is where the air filter is, it's got a plastic end and that's sealed. Now what's interesting about that is when the hood's up it makes all kinds of cool like turbo noises and stuff, but when it's down because it's sealed off it doesn't. So by replacing this, we can take that off and replace that with a dual inlet filter, which is what I hope is inside this box. And what that'll mean is, other than it being a performance filter, whatever that means, it's going to sound good. And that's kind of one of the things you want when you've got like a mad turbo car. We have done a bunch of videos on air filters in the past. Sometimes they have negligible differences or no differences at all. But the thing is, they can kind of transform how your car sounds. Like, remember your Micro Mighty before you crashed it?
Yeah.
That sounded...
It's also a feel thing too.
Like awesome.
Sometimes a freer flowing intake, like it just kind of can feel a bit snappier. And I mean, it's all about the whole experience. It doesn't just have to be about, I made 2 more kilowatts.
Exactly. So this here...
And if you like it, do it.
Whoop. So this is a Mount Shun dual intake air filter. And what that means is that if you take another look down here, where the plastic is, that's normally completely sealed. Now, when we take this one out, and I just dodgy this up for you people at home, when we put this one here on, and this here is now over the top of it, as you'll see, this end is now completely open. And that is where we're going to get some awesome intake and some choo-choo noises as well.
I like the colour more as well.
Yeah, the colour's cool. Some people also recommend just like removing this on cars. Like people literally just take it off because it makes like louder engine noises and louder turbo noises and all sorts of things like that. I will leave you people at home to decide whether you want to do that. And now you can get crazy in the YouTube comments arguing about how much power your car made when you changed to a pod filter, and then all the other people to tell you that because it's not enclosed, now it's sucking in hot air. And you guys can have a great time arguing about that while we install this air filter.
Do you reckon Ford has FOMO? Because they write it everywhere.
What do you mean?
Look.
So there it is. That's our first stage done. Your favourite, Martin.
Oh, I love
stage
stages.
1.
Because stage 1 and stage 2 and stage 3 apply to every car that's modified ever.
That's right.
What stage is SuperGramps in?
That's stage...
2.783.
Yes, exactly. It's stage Fibonacci. Shall we hear what it sounds like, Martin?
Yeah, do it.
Shall we see if it like sounds like it's a turbo car now?
Yeah,
if it actually makes some turbo noises?
Rev its butt off. It's warm, just so everyone knows. It's warm. Ooh. Cool, that's a lot
That
louder.
sounds really good.
Yeah.
It's like proper induction, proper turbo noises.
That's heaps louder.
So there it is, Martin. And there's going to be more because we have to get to the next stage, don't we, Martin?
Next stage, what's the next stage?
Tomorrow we
1.5.
go through more boxes and we keep going.
Okay.
Good to go?
Yep.
All right, see you tomorrow, guys.